Good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back again today with an updated Jesmon deck profile. So this is for the Bt7 format. Jesmon just came off of being a Tier 1 deck in the Bt6 format, and to tell you the truth, I think this deck is still there. I think this deck is still just as good as it was last format. It got a lot of new toys with the new set. And you just have a lot of people that are more focused on red hybrid right now, or just any other hybrid deck. You know, they have that new toy syndrome. They want to play with all the new cards. But for a player that likes big stack-based decks, this is the perfect deck. So we're going to get right into the card choices and what makes this deck so strong and so unique. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we will keep bringing you more Digimon content. So starting off with the eggs, I got 2 copies of Yoko and 3 copies of Demimera. So I'm not playing the new egg that says you get plus 1,000 if you have a Tamer. That's really good for the mid game, but there are a couple rookies that you want to get some early checks with, and Demimera is kind of better for that. But I did also want to include 2 copies of Yokomon, because this card combos so well with Judgment of the Blade. Judgment of the Blade is just a really good card that allows you to attack on suspended Digimon, and this combined with like your Huckmons or like your Savior Huckmons. If you do this over a Savior Huck and you activate Judgment of the Blade, you can swing over like Korikakumons and stuff, or Metal Kabuteris, because you break that 6,000 threshold, so Yoko is really nice for that. So, moving right along to the red Digimon first, we'll start with the top end. I got 4 copies of the boss monster himself, Jesmon. This is the reason you're playing the deck. You know, you play a Sistermon when you attack, and you get like 3,000 power and piercing, and that's kind of nuts. So, this is an absolute menace, and this is the ideal boss monster for the game. So, moving right along for the level 5s, I got 4 copies of Savior Huck, so I'm a big advocate for this being the only level 5 in the list. I think Jesmon only is good if you evolve it off of Savior Huckmon, because being able to swing multiple times and being able to drop multiple Sistermon is kind of nuts. And whenever this list, or whenever this card gets hit, you know, after the ban list, this deck will take a hit, but it will still be able to adapt just because Jesmon itself is so powerful. But for right now, this is pretty much the only card you want to be playing. And yeah, any other level 5 just kind of feels inferior to Digivolve on top of. But I am still playing one other level 5 in the list. I am playing a single copy of the starter deck War Growlmon. So this card has a neat effect that whenever you attack, you get to delete something with 3,000 power or less. So this card picks off Bokomon, it picks off Nemon, it picks off cards like Madoki Beta. So this card is just really, really nice. And the 8,000 power is also really nice because it allows you to swing over cards like Jet Sylphimon. And, you know, if you still have this on top of one of your sweet inheritables in your level 4, then you get to still trigger that effect. Like, for our level 4s, we got the Bauhuck and the Greymon, and both of these are really nice on top of just boss monsters, and the War Growlmon acts as a pseudo-boss monster. So, we will be releasing an updated list for Jesmon whenever we get closer to the new ban list, but for the meantime, you guys still have like a month and a half to play with this full list, so take advantage of it while you can. We're gonna go right ahead into the level 4s. I got 4 copies of Greymon and 4 copies of Bauhuck. These are the only level 4s in the deck. They're the only ones you want to be digivolving on top of, and your stack just feels significantly worse if you don't have these. So for that reason and that reason alone, these are the only ones I'm playing. Most of the time you'll be hiding in your raising area, so you only really need to see one of these. You would prefer to see the Greymon most of the time, just because if you get 2 swings at least 2 security attack, then you're just clearing almost entire stacks just then and there. And if you have the TIE Tamer out, then you get to clear 6 security, which against the yellow hybrid matchup is most of them, so Bao Huckmon also allows you some board clearing. The 6,000 power is also nice, like I said with the Yoko. With this, it'll hit 7,000 whenever you're swinging over like Korikakumons and stuff. And yeah, it's just a really good card. So these are the only level 4s in the list that we have. So moving right along to the red rookies. The new Huckmon is really great. I'll play 4 of it. This is the card that allows your Jesmon to dig for more Sistermons before you drop one. So lets you, if you need a specific sister and you don't have it, then you can try to grab it. Plus, if you get some early swings with Bow Huck or Savior Huck on top of this, then you will get to still trigger that inheritable effect. And this card is just overall really good for digging for your combo pieces mid-game after you've already drawn the Jesmon. So, really, really like 4 copies of Huckmon. This is the rookie that you want in your stack. I got 4 copies of the old Huckmon. This is the card that you never evolve in your raising area. You play this, and you dig for your pieces. This is one of the best searchers in the game, and you play 4 of it. I'm playing 2 copies of the promo Guilmon, because this allows you to draw extra cards. Drawing extra cards is the name of the game. I kind of catered my Jesmon list to be a little bit more consistent and get further into the list earlier on by top decking a lot of cards or seeing a lot of cards by drawing them. More so than a standard red list. So 2 copies of Guilmon made their way into this deck, and I wouldn't play any less than 2. And I really, really like this card. So if Gaussmon stops being relevant this format, then these cards are getting dropped for more copies of Guilmon. But Gaussmon is kind of mandatory right now. With all the hybrid decks running around, all of their level 5s have like a restriction, or have like a condition where they can Digivolve for just 1 memory. This puts a stop to that. This card's also really good against JP specifically into the green hybrid matchup. So absolutely love Gaussmon. At least for now. So moving ahead into future formats, this card might be dropped for more copies of Guilmon, but only time will tell. And then for the last 2 rookies of the deck, I have 2 copies of the 2-cost Vanilla Toyagumon from Bt7. So this card allows you to do a couple of things. I'm playing a high number of rookies, as you can see. And this is one of those rookies that you can just play from your hand for really cheap and just kind of memory choke your opponent. And doing that while getting an extra body on the board is really nice. So if this deck doesn't see Jesmon fast enough, it actually has an alternate win condition where you just kind of rush your opponent down with a bunch of weenies. But because being able to see extra cards with this, being able to play this for cheap, being able to draw off of this, kind of gives you all of the great aspects that Rookie Rush had going for it in the BT4 and BT5 format. And it also just makes this deck a lot more consistent, just because you have a higher chance of opening a rookie to evolve and get that extra draw. So, yeah, no, I really like the Toyagus. They're really doing well for the list. And also having a 2-cost vanilla, like if you have a Jesmon and it's suspended for some reason and you can't swing with it, and play a sister, then you can just summon the Toyagu for 2 memory, and then the Jesmon will unsuspend itself because you played a Digimon. So being a 2-cost is also just really, really nice. But yeah, that's it for the level 3s in the red section. So we'll go ahead and go into the white Digimon. I have 2 copies of Sistermon CL and 4 copies of Sistermon Blanc. Now these are the old Sistermons. We did get some new ones in the set. I will go into those in a minute. The reason I'm playing 4 Blanc is because this is a really good card to open. Opening this card will just let you draw a card, which again lets you get deeper into your deck, which gives you a higher probability of seeing all of your combo pieces. And this is a card you really want to get in the trash early, so that you can start summoning these back with Jesmon and drawing more cards. So for that reason, I felt this card was never really dead, and playing 4 was kind of essential. I feel like this is the best Sistermon in the list still, and it is the one that gains blocker. So this deck doesn't really need to play other blockers, even though most people aren't playing blockers at all this format. this deck still has 4. And then we have 2 copies of CL. This card can gain you a memory when you play it, and it'll make your Huckmon and your Jesmon bigger. So it's a great card, but I don't really think you need more than 2 of it. You could play 3 just to gain more memory, because this is a really good card to hit off Judgment of the Blade whenever Judgment of the Blade comes out in Security. But I felt like 2 is all you need. And then for the new cards I got 2 copies of Blanc Awakened and a single copy of CL Awakened. So I feel like CL Awakened is kind of like the worst card in the list, to tell you the truth, but it still serves a really cool niche in being able to play itself off of a Jesmon swing and then pop something with a 5 play cost or less. So if people are still playing blockers, then you can pop those and clear the way for your other bodies, because they're not going to block a Jesmon because it has piercing. But most of the time, you're using this card to pop Bokomons and Nemons. Like, it's fulfilling the same role that the War Growlmon fills for the list. You can just play this off of the Jesmon, which is nice. For this, you have to have a CL to put under its sources from your hand or trash whenever you play it. And same with Blanc, you just have to, for Blanc Awakened, you have to have a Blanc to put under its sources in order to use the effect. But I'm playing 2 Blanc because I feel like Blanc is much better, and because I'm playing 4 copies of the base Blanc, so it's easier to get Blanc Awakened's effect off. But Blanc Awakened, if you can put a Blanc under it, will let you just recover. So this gives Jesmon a recovery engine, and then you can, like, swing this into Security, you know, let this die, get a card back to your hand from your trash, because these do that as well, and then play it again off of another Jesmon swing and then recover again, which is absolutely absurd. Giving Jesmon recovery was a mistake, and especially with Savior Huck being able to let Jesmon swing twice still, being able to play multiple copies of Sistermon and when we have 9 in the deck is kind of insane. So the last Digimon I have in the list is a single copy of Omnimon. Omnimon for game is still very much a thing. You know, if you have nothing but the Jesmon stack that you're promoting, everything else that you play off the Jesmon will have Summoning Sickness, so you won't be able to OTK them unless you have this card, unless you have a body setup beforehand. So Omnimon still serves a purpose, but you don't really need to play more than 1 of it, so I'm only choosing to include the 1. On to the Tamers and Options. I got 2 top copies of Tai Kamiya. This will give me an extra security attack on my Jesmon stack, which is absolutely insane. And setting yourself to 3 ensures that you can promote your Savior Huckmon, evolve it into Jess, and swing in the same turn. So Tai is really nice. And then I got 2 copies of the Youth. So the Youth is really nice for putting Sistermons in your trash. You reveal top 3, you trash a bunch of cards, and then, hey, maybe you'll find a combo piece, and you get to put that combo piece into your hand. That's pretty cool. It also has an added effect of if they kill a Savior Huck or a War Growl or a Jesmon, then you can suspend it, hatch an egg, and gain a memory. So that helps you just kind of make sure that it stays your turn. Like, if they deal with the Jesmon on their turn, then you can tap the Analog Youth and then have extra memory on your following turn. But the main reason that this card is in here is to put the Sistermons in the trash and to help you find more combo pieces. So, by that same vein, helping you find combo pieces, I have 2 copies of Red Memory Boost. What can I say? This card lets you scry the top 4 and just pick a red card and put it in your hand. This card is absolutely amazing for finding Jesmon and Savior Huck, and it also helps you pop off, because if you don't see the tie, and they set you to 1 memory, and you delete their Mudoki Beta or something, then you can pop this off, go up to 3, and then make your big Jesmon play right then and there. And then the last card in the list, I have 3 copies of Judgment of the Blade. This card is absolutely essential. It allows your Jesmon and your Huckmon to swing over things, and I wouldn't play any less than 3, because this card is way more powerful whenever you can just drop it freely. Like, if you are in the early game and your opponent sets up a Bokomon and has a Tamer in play, and you have just a Huckmon out and maybe an egg in the raising area, you know, it is a very, very good play to just activate Judgment of the Blade, swing your Huckmon into the Boko. Even if you trade, that's fine, but just killing the Boko so that they can't just start comboing off of their Tamers is really nice, and being able to drop one of these early game is good. Being able to drop it in the mid game, you can start swinging over hybrids with your Savior Huck, if your opponent has hybrids that they're holding back. And yeah, no, this card is just absolutely key. So that's the list, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.